Hi friends, I'm Amanda and I should probably be reading. So today I'm talking about what I'm reading for the 30 and 30 manga challenge for the month of April. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am here to talk about my TBR for the really cool 30 and 30 manga challenge. I first did this challenge back in September. It was a lot of fun. I read over 40 manga in the month. It was a really productive way for me to plow through some of my TBR and get a bunch of the books I'd had sitting around, go from unread to read. It was just very exciting. I had a great time. I will link the host of the event down below, so if you're interested, you can check it out. But the main idea is that you try to read 30 volumes of manga in 30 days, and they also have a list of challenges for you to level up your reading if you want an extra challenge. Last time I made it to level 4, which is about what I usually shoot for, because there's no way I'm getting all 50 challenges done. But 4 was 30 challenges. I think I ended up doing 35 of the 50 challenges with what I read that month. And so we're shooting for about the same this year, but this year might be a little bit more complicated. I will explain, but first, some backstory. If you followed my channel for a while and you saw the old haul video I did of my 2024 books, I talked about how at one point I had a really bad habit of buying further volumes of series I hadn't read yet, getting really far ahead, like 5 or 6 volumes ahead of a series I hadn't started, or maybe I'd read volume 1 and I was already buying volume 6 when I hadn't read the rest. And I've done pretty good about slowing down on that. And I know that because I have stats. So since 2024, from the beginning of 2024 through now, I have bought 114 volumes of manga, which is a crazy number of manga, and I have read 46% of those manga, and unread I have 53.5%. So not great, but better than I was worried about. I've read about half of what I bought. The problem is very clear when you look at this. I broke all the manga I bought down into 6 categories. First volumes of series, one-shots, and continuations of series, which is any volume 2 onward. And I divided each of those categories has a column for read and unread. The thing I've done the best with is manga one-shots. I've bought 10 of them since 2024. I've read 9 of them. The only one-shot I have that I haven't read is Magica, which I picked up very recently because it just looked really cute. I really like the art style. This is the only one I have. So I'll probably try to read it this month in the challenge. For the continuing volumes, I go about 50-50. I've read 36 of the ones I purchased and I haven't read 32. So I've read more than I haven't. It went up a bit because of Christmas and I just haven't chipped it down quite yet. The biggest problem, the biggest issue of my manga is that I have, since 2024, I have bought 36 volume 1s of series. And I've only read 8 of them, which is only 22%. Leaving 28 volumes unread. And I thought, wow, that's a lot. When I first looked at this, I actually only had 26 first volumes left, 2 of which are not on this list because they are older TBR titles that I only have the first volume of and hadn't read. I had 26 titles and I went, yikes. Wouldn't it be fun to read those during the 30 and 30? Hey, I'm so close. What if I just picked up 4 more series I was looking at and did a fun 30 and 30 challenge of reading 30 volume 1s? So that's what we're doing. So I picked up 4 more volume 1s to give me 28 that will count toward what I have kept track of. I didn't keep track of my purchases pre-2024. 2024 is when I started tracking my hauls. So I know these 2 volumes that I have are probably 2023, but I don't have an exact date on them. So they just get called older TBR in all my stats. But I decided that I would take those 26. I bought 4 more for an even 30. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. So I do plan on trying to read a few other things during the month. Like I said, I do plan on reading Magica. I'd also really like to read Witch Hat Atelier. I've read the first 4 or 5 volumes of this, but I'm nowhere near caught up. I'm very far behind. The anime is starting this month. I'm really excited. We have all of it because my husband's caught up, but it's one that I just keep looking at going, why haven't I read that yet? So I'm really hoping I can get to this month, but it is going to be a little secondary to making sure that I at least one a day read my 30 volume ones, but hopefully I can slot this in too. One of the reasons I've acquired so many volume ones is because I did a manga tournament a while back where I picked 16 volume ones, pitted them against each other. I'm still in the middle of reading and filming it because nothing is easy when it comes to me. But I've read all those volume ones. None of those are here. But when I bought more volume ones, I kept thinking, oh, should I do another manga tournament? Should I be saving these? Should I not read them and wait so that I can do another manga tournament later? And then I would think, no, that's silly. You shouldn't save them for a video you might not make when you haven't even finished the first one yet. And then I sat down and was looking at my books that I have unread from the past couple years, and I started making vlog ideas like, oh, I should do a detective vlog, and oh, I should do a forest vlog. Wouldn't it be fun to do a vlog about yokai book? Because I have a lot of those. And when I sat down and was looking and realized I had almost had 30, and that I could just wreck all those plans, or I could wait and just read like 5 or 6 of them that I didn't have other ideas for, I sat down and I told myself that it's silly to let videos I might make on BookTube stop me from reading books I want to read when I want to read them. So even though I had some plans for some of these books, I'm ditching them and I'm reading them now because I want to read them right now. So I think that's the better approach. I can still use a lot of these in vlogs if I so choose. If I like the series, I can still read future volumes in a vlog that it's on theme for. So I'm not really ending anything. But I am potentially going to get 28 more off of my spreadsheet that I've been making since 2024, be able to get 28 more titles that I have bought but have not read, checked off as read, and can continue some of these series. I go to the bookstore. A big problem I have is I go to the bookstore and I go, oh, volume 2 of that series is out. Oh, that series is out to volume 4? Wow, I'm really behind. Oh, this series is out to volume 6? Wow, I really would love to pick up some of those, but I haven't read the first one yet. And so then I just pick up another new volume 1. So hopefully, having read these 30 series, I can prioritize which ones I want to seek out the future volumes of first. And I can start, when I go to the store, I have those series I can pick up on easily without starting as many new series. I'm going to start new series. I know who I am, but hopefully it won't be quite as tempting as some of these series that I'm really enjoying and want to continue on first. So that's the hope. That's the dream. We'll see what happens. There's one more series that I'm hoping to maybe reread in the month of April, but I'll get to that when I talk about the volumes that would have been in the vlog I would have done if I had saved them. So I have the 30 volumes kind of divided into categories of like why I bought them. So we'll go through them real quick just in the categories. I'm not going to go too much into detail. That's what the vlogs or wrap-ups will be for. But I did want to give you an idea of what I'm looking at and what series I'll be checking out so that hopefully I can get a dialogue going if anyone has any recommendations. And you can kind of see what I've been picking up. First, I've already mentioned detectives. I have 2 detective series. I have My Dear Detective, as well as Killed Again, Mr. Detective. It is a question, yeah. Killed Again, Mr. Detective. Both of which I bought because they feature detectives, and that's what I like. I like detectives. And then I have a few mystery thrillers. I'm not sure if these are more suspense or more mystery or what they are exactly, but they seem to fit like mystery adjacent, at least if they aren't true mysteries. One I picked up recently is Roar, A Star in the Abyss. I picked this one up really recently, as well as Lonely Deaths Lie Thick as Snow. I love this cover. And one of the volumes I picked up to complete my set of 30 tonight, I have a date with a serial killer. Next, I have my yokai and monster volumes. I have Yokai Cats, which is one of the 2 that I've had the longest. I've had this one for ages and just have not read it, and there's no reason why. I've read another book by this author. I read Cthulhu Cats, and it was great, so I really need to go through this one. I have The Great Yokai War Guardians, Divine Incursions, and Tales of the 100 Monsters Next Door. Some of these are newer series, some of them are older series, some of them have a bunch of volumes out, some of them just came out. So it's really a hodgepodge. Next, I have my fantasy section. These are all series that I think are set in a fantasy world and are vaguely fantastic. We'll see. This is Komodo, Frieren, Somali and the Forest Spirit, The Elegant Courtly Life of the Tea Witch, and one I just picked up, The Tale of a Little Alchemist Blessed by the Spirits. And then kind of adjacent to that category, I have what I believe are the contemporary fantasies. So things that are set more modern day, I believe, but have a fantastical element of some sort. I have Whoever Steals This Book, Rory Dragon, and Please Look After the Dragon. Next, I have the two that didn't really fit into any of my other categories. I have another category left, but these two didn't fit into any of the categories. I grabbed Medalist, which is a story about ice skaters. Ice skating is the one sport that I kind of wish I had done once upon a time. I think I love watching ice skating, and with the Winter Olympics having only recently ended, this one was very much on my radar. And A Stepmother's Marchen, which I actually had recommended by another booktuber, the Astral Library, and I've had this one for a while. It looks really interesting. It's got time travel, or at least time reset elements, and I'm very interested in seeing how this one goes. And then last are my romances. So for my general romances, I have Nina and the Starry Bride, which I lucked out as being one of the host favorites. So that will help me check off a checkbox. Snow White and the Red Hair, True Love Fades Away When the Contract Ends, and the Otherworlds books depend on the bean counter. Then for my more specific romances, and the one video I'm a little bummed that I ended up axing to do this, was my favorite romance series of all time is Wotakoi. Love is Hard for Otaku. I love this series. I love these characters. They make me so happy. And I haven't really found another romance that scratches that same itch for me. So I've picked up a bunch of volumes hoping to try. All of these are otaku-themed romances. I thought it might be fun to read through them and kind of compare them to what I liked about Wotakoi, if they hit the same feeling, if they don't, why or why not. I thought that might be a fun video idea, and it's like I said, it's the one project I'm a little bummed that I had to axe to do this, but if I can reread Wotakoi at the beginning of the month, and I pick these up later in the month, I can still maybe do a wrap-up vlog about it, and that would be fun. So what I have here are a bunch, some of these have been sitting on my shelf for a long time, waiting on this idea, and another one I picked up like just last month, because anytime I see a volume with otaku in it, I grab it to check it out because I had this video idea in mind. So I was really keen on grabbing more choices for that vlog. The one I have that I recently picked up that I'm not sure if it quite fits, but I'm kind of grandfathering it in because I think it's similar enough, is Tamon's B-Side, which is not necessarily about otaku, but is about a girl who is a fangirl for a pop star who ends up in his orbit and discovering more about him. And I thought that has enough similar elements that I think it could be fun to compare to these. She's still a big fangirl. I think it's close enough. The other volumes I have are My Lovesick Life as a 90s Otaku, which is great because I was a 90s Otaku. Night on Ice, which is another one of the super old volumes I have that predates 2024 being on my shelves. Otaku Vampire's Love Bite. Gals Can't Be Kind to Otaku? The Otaku Love Connection, and the element in manga titles I never know how to pronounce. Otaku X Gal, Otaku Times Gal, Otaku and Gal, I don't know. Whatever this is called, we'll see. And that should be 30 volume ones, along with 2 full series I would like to read, and at least one shot. So what I'm hoping to do is read through all 30 volumes and then come up with some sort of ranking system of determining which ones were my highest tier. I don't know if a tier ranking system is going to work, because if I really like all of them, the tier list is going to be really boring when they're all S or A tier. So I don't know if that'll work. We'll have to see. If you have any ideas for how to rank 30 things, let me know. Other than just making a big stack and saying this one's on the top and this one's on the bottom, which may have to be what I do. I'm very excited. I picked up all these volumes because I was genuinely interested in the series, And then for whatever reason, I've let it sit on my shelf instead of reading it. And I'm really excited to have the 30 and 30 challenge to force me to get through my TBR. Now, the one thing that this brings up is with the level up challenge, some of those are about reading an entire series or finishing a series, or having specific things on the cover. One this year is even reading a volume that's your favorite number, and my favorite number is 13. So if I get through Witch Hat, I'll get it, but I won't get it from reading the volume ones. When I did this last year, I didn't really have a TBR. As the month went on, I just kind of grabbed things off my shelf, and I kind of looked at the challenges and went, oh, I need a hardcover manga. I have one of those, and I grabbed one. None of these are hardcover. None of these. Oh, the Wotokois might be omnibuses. But none of the volume ones are omnibuses. None of the volume ones are one-shots, obviously. So if I just stuck to the 30 volume ones, I wouldn't be able to get as many level up challenges, and I'm okay with that. I'm just gonna see where things fit. I didn't really sit down and look at it and plan it out. We're just gonna kind of fly by the seat of our pants, see what we get read. I'm hoping to maybe read more than one volume a day, obviously. So that I can get through these 30 as well as some of those other series, maybe continue some of the series I have 30 something volumes on my shelf of series I've already started and want to get through. So I've got a lot of options, but these 30 are my top priority. If I read nothing else, I want to read one of the volume ones each day. And if I skip one, that's the priority for the next day, is to read two, to make sure that if nothing else, I get through these 30 volumes. If the other things don't happen, they don't happen, but that's my priority for the month. So that's all for me today. I'm going to go pick a volume and read. Didn't think this through to figure out what I'm going to start with. I'm going to start with Yokai Cats because it's April Fool's Day, and that seems like it's a 4-coma gag comic, and it's short. So that's a good way to start, is to get a check mark off with one of the shorter volumes. So I think that's what I'm going to start with. I will check back in. I don't know if I'm going to go through half the month, 10 days. I haven't decided. It'll probably depend on how much I feel like filming, how busy I am, and what else going on, to see what I can film and edit to get this out in a timely manner, which is always a problem I have. I never did release my second half of my reading vlog last year for 30 and 30, so we'll see if we can do better this year. But that's all for me today. All of the hosts for the 30 and 30 manga challenge are listed down below. If you are interested, you don't have to read 30 volumes. Just read more manga or comics or whatever than you're used to. More than you normally prioritize. Prioritize just a little bit more. That's all you have to do to join in, which I think is super awesome. So if you're interested, check out their videos down below, which explain a little bit more and have links to all of the various spreadsheets and things. Thank you so much for joining me today. Leave a comment down below if you recommend I start with any of these series. Let me know if you're taking part in 30 for 32 so I can check out your vlogs and videos. Subscribe if you want to see more of me for some reason. Do all the YouTube things. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next chapter. Bye.